Good morning. Thank you for joining me today. This morning we'll be in Exodus, chapter 28, verses 1 through 43. And you, bring near to you your brother Aaron, and his sons with him from among the Israelites, so that they may minister as my priests. Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, Aaron's sons. You must make holy garments for your brother Aaron, for glory and for beauty. You are to speak to all who are specially skilled, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, so that they may make Aaron's garments to set him apart to minister as my priest. Now these are the garments that they are to make: a breastpiece, an ephod, a robe, a fitted tunic, a turban, and a sash. They are to make holy garments for your brother Aaron and for his sons, that they may minister as my priests. The artisans are to use the gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and fine linen. They are to make the ephod of gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and fine twisted linen, the work of an artistic designer. It is to have 2 shoulder pieces attached to 2 of its corners, so it can be joined together. The artistically woven waistband of the ephod that is on it is to be like it, of 1 piece with the ephod, of gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and fine twisted linen. You are to take 2 onyx stones and engrave on them the names of the sons of Israel, 6 of their names on 1 stone, and the 6 remaining names on the 2nd stone, according to the order of their birth. You are to engrave the 2 stones with the names of the sons of Israel, with the work of an engraver in stone, like the engravings of a seal. You are to have them set in gold filigree settings. You are to put the 2 stones on the shoulders of the ephod, stones of memorial for the sons of Israel, and Aaron will bear their names before the Lord on his 2 shoulders for a memorial. You are to make filigree settings of gold, and 2 braided chains of pure gold, like a cord, and attach the chains to the setting. You are to make a breastpiece for use in making decisions, the work of an artistic designer. You are to make it in the same fashion as the ephod. You are to make it of gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and fine twisted linen. It is to be square when doubled, 9 inches long and 9 inches wide. You are to set it in a setting for stones: 4 rows of stones, a row with a ruby, a topaz, and a beryl, the first row. In the 2nd row, a turquoise, a sapphire, and an emerald. In the 3rd row, a jacinth, an agate, and an amethyst. And on the 4th row, a chrysolite, an onyx, and a jasper. These are to be enclosed in gold in their filigree settings. These stones are to be for the names of the sons of Israel, 12 according to the number of their names. Each name, according to the 12 tribes, is to be like the engravings of a seal. You are to make for the breastpiece braided chains like cords of pure gold, and you are to make for the breastpiece 2 gold rings, and attach the 2 rings to the upper 2 ends of the breastpiece. You are to attach the 2 gold chains to the 2 rings at the ends of the breastpiece. The other 2 ends of the 2 chains you will attach to the 2 settings, and then attach them to the shoulder pieces of the ephod at the front of it. You are to make 2 rings of gold and put them on the other 2 ends of the breastpiece, on its edge that is on the inner side of the ephod. You are to make 2 more gold rings and attach them to the bottom of the 2 shoulder pieces on the front of the ephod, close to the juncture above the waistband of the ephod. They are to tie the breastpiece by its rings to the rings of the ephod by blue cord, so that it may be above the waistband of the ephod, and so that the breastpiece will not be loose from the ephod. Aaron will bear the names of the sons of Israel and the breastpiece of decision over his heart when he goes into the holy place, for a memorial before the Lord continually. You are to put the Urim and the Thummim into the breastpiece of decision, and they are to be over Aaron's heart when he goes in before the Lord. Aaron is to bear the decisions of the Israelites over his heart before the Lord continually. You are to make the robe of the ephod completely blue. There is to be an opening in its top, in the center of it, with an edge all around the opening, the work of a weaver, like the opening of a collar, so that it cannot be torn. You are to make pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet all around its hem, and bells of gold between them all around. The pattern is to be a gold bell and a pomegranate, a gold bell and a pomegranate, all around the hem of the robe. The robe is to be on Aaron as he ministers, and his sound will be heard when he enters the holy place before the Lord, and when he leaves, so that he does not die. You are to make a plate of pure gold and engrave on it the way a seal is engraved, Holiness to the Lord. You are to attach to it a blue cord, so that it will be on the turban. It is to be on the front of the turban. It will be on Aaron's forehead, and Aaron will bear the iniquity of the holy things, which the Israelites are to sanctify by all their holy gifts. It will always be on his forehead for their acceptance before the Lord. You are to weave the tunic of fine linen, and make the turban of fine gold, and make the sash the work of an embroiderer. For Aaron's sons, you are to make tunics, sashes, and headbands for glory and for beauty. You are to clothe them, your brother Aaron and his sons with him, and anoint them and ordain them and set them apart as holy, so that they may minister as my priests. Make for them linen undergarments to cover their naked bodies. They must cover from the waist to the thighs. These must be on Aaron and his sons when they enter to the tent of meeting, or when they approach the altar to minister in the holy place, so that they bear no iniquity and die. It is to be a perpetual ordinance for him and for his descendants after him. So, this describes the garments and I guess it's the outfit of the high priest and the priests. The high priest wore this special garment, which was called an ephod, which was used in the decision making of Israel. And this, you can see this throughout the Old Testament, where like a king has a decision and he's like, oh, bring me the high priest or bring me the ephod, if he was, disobeying God and just wanted to ask God directly. And also this is mimicked in several places, like Gideon created his own ephod for decision making. Now, how God would respond to questions posed to him when the high priest wore the ephod, it's unknown, but he did, and they had a way, I think, of determining whether the answer was from God or not. I guess one of the interesting things about the ephod itself is that in 28:29, it says that Aaron will bear the names of the sons of Israel in the breastpiece of decision over his heart when he goes into the holy place for a memorial before the Lord continually. That is, as intercessor between the people and God, Aaron always has the people over his heart, or on his heart, particularly, which is a neat physical analogy. Carrying on, Matthew chapter 25, verse 31 through chapter 26, verse 13. Ooh. Can't make it through saying which verses they are. I hope I can read them. Okay. When the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the angels with him, then he will sit on his glorious throne. All the nations will be assembled before him, and he will separate people one from another, like a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you took care of me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or naked and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and visit you? And the king will answer them, I tell you the truth, just as you did it for one of the least of these brothers or sisters of mine, you did it for me. Then he will say to those on his left, Depart from me, you accursed, into the eternal fire that has been prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me nothing to eat, and I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not receive me as a guest, naked, and you did not clothe me, sick and in prison, and you did not visit me. Then they too will answer, Lord, when did we see you sick, hungry, or thirsty, or stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not give you whatever you needed? Then he will answer them, I tell you the truth, just as you did not do it for one of the least of these, you did not do it for me. And these will depart into eternal punishment, but the righteous into eternal life. When Jesus had finished saying all these things, he told his disciples, You know that after 2 days the Passover is coming, and the Son of Man will be handed over to be crucified. Then the chief priests and the elders of the people met together in the palace of the high priest, who was named Caiaphas. They planned to arrest Jesus by stealth and kill him. But they said, Not during the feast, so that there won't be a riot among the people. Now, while Jesus was in Bethany at the house of Simon the leper, a woman came to him with an alabaster jar of expensive perfumed oil, and she poured it on his head as he was at the table. When the disciples saw this, they became indignant and said, Why this waste? It could have been sold at a high price and the money given to the poor. When Jesus learned of this, he said to them, Why are you bothering this woman? She has done a good service for me. For you will not always have the poor with you, but you will always have the poor with you, but you will not always have me. When she poured this oil on my body, she did it to prepare me for burial. I tell you the truth, wherever this gospel is proclaimed in the whole world, what she has done will also be told in memory of her. Yeah, so you have the high priest here plotting the death of Jesus. But first and foremost in their minds is the people rioting. So if it was, yeah, I guess that just goes to show me that how quickly it could devolve, how quickly the situation could devolve and violence erupt. Oh, interesting. Then the chief priests and the elders of the people met together in the palace of the high priest, who was named Caiaphas. I thought later on that Caiaphas advised them not to do this thing. But, I mean, you could have seen the... Oh, no, that was regarding the disciples. When the disciples first started preaching Jesus after his resurrection, they were arrested by the priests again, and in this particular case, Caiaphas said to them, leave them alone, because you don't want to put them to death, because there were other people who were following a false Messiah, and they petered out. So if it's not of God, then it'll peter out. But if it is of God, then you might be found fighting against God. So you also have Jesus highlighting Judgment Day in 25, 31, and 32. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, then he will sit on his glorious throne. All the nations will be assembled before him, And he will separate people one from another, like a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. So you have Jesus himself here saying that there will be a judgment day. And that judgment day will be responsible for the ultimate fate of every human being. Yeah, and that will decide whether God says to us, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared to you from the foundation of the world," or "Depart from me, you accursed, into the eternal fire that has been prepared for the devil and his angels." So, carrying on, Psalm 31, verses 9 through 18. Have mercy on me, for I am in distress. My eyes grow dim from suffering. I have lost my strength, for my life nears its end in pain. My years draw to a close as I groan. My strength fails me because of my sin, and my bones become brittle. Because of all my enemies, people disdain me. My neighbors are appalled by my suffering. Those who know me are horrified by my condition. Those who see me in the street run away from me. I am forgotten like a dead man no one thinks about. I am regarded as worthless like a broken jar. For I hear what so many are saying, the terrifying news that comes from every direction, what they plot together against me. When they plot together against me, they figure out how they can take my life. But I trust in you, O Lord. I declare you are my God. You determine my destiny. Rescue me from the power of my enemies and those who chase me. Smile on your servant. Deliver me because of your faithfulness. O Lord, do not let me be humiliated, for I call out to you. May evil men be humiliated. May they go wailing to the grave. May lying lips be silenced, lips that speak defiantly against the innocent with arrogance and contempt. And finally, Proverbs chapter 8, verses 12 through 13. I, wisdom, live with prudence, and I find knowledge and discretion. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil. I hate arrogant pride and the evil way, and the perverse utterances. Yeah. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil. That is, wicked acts are not something that God likes or approves of, so don't desire to do them. Despise doing them. So, cool. Well, thank you for joining me today. Hope you have a great day.